G'day and welcome to the channel. My name's Jake. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch the video today. If you enjoy the video and you want to become one of the Batters boys officially, please make sure to subscribe down below. Some of the most fun I've ever had playing video games in the past has come from nights playing manager mode career storylines with 3 of my mates and I, all in the same room, on the same couch, playing at the same time with our own controllers. Because the camaraderie you can find in sharing the highs and lows of FIFA, like a great team goal where everyone touches the ball, or when FIFA scripting rears its ugly, ugly head and you lose to a worldie from the AI in the 90th minute. FIFA is a simulation of a team sport, so I like to play it as a team. If you didn't know this, you can have 4 players at the same time on one console on the same TV playing as a team. And so as often as life permits it, I'd love to have my boys playing with me on stream. Now most of the time when I'm on live stream, the Batters boys in the chat are what's going to make up essentially a committee of members for this team, and so we're going to figure out what we're going to do with each decision as it comes up. The best feature to come in and out of FIFA and back in again has to be the Create a Club option in manager mode, which is quite a lot of customization and allows you to really set a storyline to match your team right from the start. In case you somehow missed the title of the video and didn't see the thumbnail, this team is going to be based around the Australian icon that is Russel Coight and his Logie award winning, well at least deserving of a Logie, TV show All Aussies Adventures. Russel Coight is a legend of Australian TV. In his show All Aussies Adventures, he seeks to educate city slickers about how to thrive and survive in the Aussie outback. From how to treat a snake bite to keeping your food safe from wildlife at your campground, Russ will tell you what you need to know.
And I'm tying it up on a tree and pulling it up so during the night the dingoes won't get it. That's nice and safe.
However, things often go wrong with Russ, and his advice, though well-meaning, is often not very informative.
Step 1, do not leave the vehicle. People often make that mistake and they perish within a couple of days. Remember, the vehicle is the safest place to be.
But most of all, Russ is a people person and loves to introduce the viewers to some of his outback mates, with him always keen for a good handshake.
G'day Greg.
How you going?
Yeah, good to see you again mate, how are you?
If you spend time with Russ, you're never short of a laugh or helping hand, and that's why he's going to make our perfect manager. The first step was to create the great man Russell himself. I knew there'd be limitations in the design process from previous careers, but I was still hopeful that I could conjure up some sense of resemblance to that of his real life appearance in the game. In hindsight, I'm not 100% stoked with it yet, but hopefully one of my chat members, Medieval Breast, who's a great FIFA face creator, can help me improve his likeness in a future stream. I'm speeding up the creation process because it did take me a good 15 minutes. Sadly, Russell's signature stubby shorts and wide brim Akubra were not available in the game, particularly the hat, which I tried heaps of styles of hair with it to try to get the game to let me use it without adding the long, stereotypical female country singer hair to go along with it. I settled with the idea of Russell dressing as if he was genuinely going to be managing a footy team, albeit in real life he'd be much more likely to manage an AFL footy team. But nonetheless, I've got him sporting a fedora and loose khaki pants, similar to something you might find in a lost property box, because we know there's no way Russel Coight would ever own a pair of slacks this clean and free of rips. When creating the team itself, I wanted to make sure that its identity was as authentically Australian as possible. The first thing that you get to do after naming your team is pick a nickname that commentators can call your club in pre-match presentations. And I felt that the most Aussie option available was
the biggest snakes out there,
because obviously we're talking about a team from the outback. The next step was designing the team kits. I made some basic blended two-tone kits for home and away. Sadly, you can't use the same kit for both, so I had to make them slightly different, but with the same idea, and pick the kit that looks the most like the recent Matilda's kit in real life that I like as our third strip. I think we'll just use that for cup matches or something maybe. Let me know in the chat what you think we could use that strip for. The logo design is probably the biggest letdown in the Create a Club process, as it gives you so little to customize and no way to use text in any way. In comparison to NBA 2K, this design team was incredibly lazy, particularly as this year's rendition is no different to last year's at all. I chose the logo that had the word Victoria in it because at least it has some link to Australia. Naming your home stadium is a big and important decision to make, and I knew straight away it had to be called the Great Outdoors, because that's where Russell learned everything he knows and all that he's going to be passing on to the boys at All Aussies FC. I decked the place out in the green and gold and picked a horse neigh for the signature goal sound, because of course I did. But spoiler alert, I'm going to be giving some nods to the TV show on stream for when we score goals anyway, so I don't know if you're going to be able to hear that anyway. As we wrap up the team creation process, I made sure to rate the team at just 1 star so we fit in the 4th League of England, and selected youth focused for the board expectations, as we're only going to be using generated Aussies in the team for the entirety of the challenge, so it lines up well with the storyline. And that brings us to day 1 of Russel Coight's career as manager of All Aussies FC. Here's hoping we don't get sacked in the first season as we roll more Aussie Opals into the rough into the starting 11 and inevitably struggle to get some wins on the board with no doubt some terrible young players to start out with. We managed to get super lucky finding a 10-star youth scout in the first day of the season, and I sent him on his way down under to find as many Aussies as he could. I opted for the any search criteria in hope that we could find a keeper as well as some other players without having to burn 3 months searching specifically for a keeper. We did get lucky again finding a high potential keeper. Unfortunately, he was only 6'1", and I normally like taller keepers, but I figure if he's got 90 plus potential and we do a good enough job in defence, it won't matter so much. Next step was listing all the players from the squad onto the transfer market to see how many we could get rid of in the first season, ready to go for the first 11 of All Australians next year. Over the course of the season, we managed to get rid of about half of the players from the existing squad as the Creator Club was made. Hopefully I can continue to get rid of the rest of the non-Aussie folk and have a really authentic, true blue Aussie team by the end of next year.
Oh, new cutscene. This is pretty cool.
To replace the players we sold on, we found some great up-and-comers who will be able to take the team to new heights going forward, even if they don't start with the highest overall.
Oh my gosh. This kid's a star.
Are you sure about that?
5-star weak foot, 4-star skill moves, high low work rates for a CDM, and he's 6'5". 90 plus potential. Bro, get in. This is a star in the making. Look at that. 94 potential. He's got bicycle kick and everything. Oh my gosh. Oh.
But unfortunately, it wasn't all sunshine and roses, with the board giving us an incredibly hard time trying to fire us every other week. It may have been fair enough, considering we were playing a team of 11 50 overall players and not winning any games. This was until I figured out all I needed to do was bump the team's morale in order to keep everyone happy.
All we need to do is just have a big long rest.
Unfortunately, it worked just as I'd hoped, and we kept our job for the rest of the season.
Hey, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Just give me a chance, boys. It's all good.
At about the halfway mark for the season, we finally had a starting 11 of Aussies, so I thought it might be time to test out how the team felt in-game. This proved to be incredibly painful for a number of reasons. The legendary AI is sometimes literally impossible to stop with 50 overall players.
Sorry. What is this game? What is this game? Honestly.
Any half chance we had typically ended in a skill error of some sort.
Oh my gosh. Are you serious? Wow.
And the new playable highlights feature, which I actually like, exposed itself as a scripting service when it gave me the exact same chance 7 times in a row.
I'm Derek Ray, getting ready to...
Are you actually serious? Exactly the same. Cutting to 14 minutes, down 1-0 in.
I'm your match commentator, Derek Ray.
If you don't believe in scripting, I don't know what else to tell you. That's just happened 3 times in a row. Oh my gosh. That just happened for the 4th time. 5 times. Unbelievable. 6 times.
Be enthralling. My name is Derek Ray.
7 times.
But we did still have big highlights before the end of the season, which gets me excited for what is to come in future seasons with the boys.
Oh my gosh! What a save!
Who can he pick out? Could be a chance to break here.
Oh my gosh, Hyde. Go for it, son.
They need to get bodies.
Hyde! Hyde's going to score the goal of the season. What the heck?
Will he finish?
Hyde! What is that?
In front. just as
Oh, what a goal. Coight is out of his mind. Get in. Was that what I thought it was? Hey! Yes, hard. The rookie comes in, wins Player of the Month in his first month. Yeah, Russell. You.
And so at season end, we only had 3 players left that weren't Australian on the squad and a full starting 11 ranging between the mid-50s to 60s. We were ready for next year. And thanks to position change training and plenty of appearances in the first team, we saw tremendous growth throughout the season across all the boys, with some even growing more than 10 overall in the season. If you're still watching, you must have found it somewhat entertaining. So if you're not already subscribed and you're not officially a Batters Boy, what are you doing? Click the link below. I'll be going live on Twitch with this team a few days a week, so I'd love to see you in the chat and I'll shout you out. And I'm also aiming to get at least one video like this out on YouTube each week, so if you miss the live streams, at least you can follow along with us later. I'll be uploading some highlights and memes to TikTok as well, so if you're a millennial or Gen Z, make sure you get over there and give me a follow and we can help build this Batters Boy community together. Well, thanks for watching and...
Time to hit the road.